Day and a great way to honor the lives of the 10 members of our family who was lost 22 years ago today. Just really proud of the way our guys seem to take hold of that message and play in a way that hopefully they're all really proud that they were associated with the program. Collective effort, and it's kind of pretty much working like other than about the 4-minute segment in the second half between a 12-minute and 8-minute timeout where John Michael and Avery decided they wanted to see who could do the craziest stuff. So other than that, really proud, thankful to have the win, and look forward to moving on to the next one.
Caleb scored a game-high 18, didn't miss a field goal. What did you kind of see from him tonight?
I thought he adjusted to the game pretty well. It's kind of, I think, the question about how much do you prepare for a non-conference team this time of year. We didn't really know what they were going to do in terms of defending him, and obviously they started the game double-teaming him pretty aggressively, and he didn't force it. He just made simple plays, which helped make the game easier for him to score late because he hit Woody for a three, he hit a couple guys on cuts for layups, and then they got to stop double-teaming, and he was able to play in single coverage where he's really good. So.
Woody, he's gone out there to space the floor. He scored, I believe, 8 of his first half points on layups, making those cuts. Is that kind of an advancement of his game that he's now coming to the inside a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really more natural thing for him, playing the four and being able to understand how defenses are defending away from him. So, for instance, when Tyreek or Musa are in there, they're not natural cutters because they don't start out on the perimeter anyway. So having him have a pretty good knack for it, when to cut and how to cut, and then watching him finish was really encouraging.
What did you like most about the offense tonight?
I thought we just let the game come to us. I didn't feel like anybody really tried to force, bad shots. We kind of just took the game as it came, and you see that kind of play out in the balance of the scoring. Guys took shots that were open. Even Avery, who scored a lot, he just played to the aggressiveness of the other team. He got himself to the free throw line. Well, it was good to watch him, make them all today.
When we talked to you a couple of days ago, you said this was more so about focusing on yourself. What was there any one thing you specifically wanted to see tonight, and did you see it?
I wanted to see us get back to guarding the way I know we're capable of. And again, I think there's no question that everybody realizes the value that Musa brings to our defense, because it allows you to do things in other places on the floor without having to really concern yourself with if I get beat. You can be more aggressive guarding the ball. You can maybe trap some, knowing that, again, he I think he had one block, but he probably changed 4 or 5 shots in there. People look for him. Usually you just try to figure out how to get to the rim, and people look for him when he's in there. So wanted to see us get back to guarding the way we're capable of, and we did that today.
Do you feel like he's getting closer to 100%?
He's getting close. Again, it's still obviously going to be a deal we monitor really closely, but he felt really good today, and so we thought we'd throw him out there and give him a shot to get a little bit of wind in his legs and go from there.
Mike, you hold Ole Miss to just 36% from the field. What was so successful about your half-court set today?
I think defensively we were just really well connected. I think the guys were really covering up for each other. And then one of the ways as an indicator of that is they were playing against a low clock a lot, and taking shots or not getting them off at all. Shot clock violations are usually a result of 5 guys being on the same page in rotations, challenging shots, harassing the ball. And, when you see that, I didn't even see, I'm assuming it was a monster block that got the crowd going crazy from Tyreek. I didn't see it. My back was to the play. I just heard the reaction. But again, that's another example of multiple guys taking that pride and getting the job done as a team.
It was. The guy passed in the lane, and then Tyreek recovered and got the block. He made the pass standing on his, sitting on his back. I mean, does that show that this team just doesn't give up when that clock is low, or when they do make a good pass?
Yeah, when we're dialed in defensively, we're a problem. I mean, we have some struggles sometimes offensively, but defensively, even though nights where we don't make them, we can give ourselves a chance on that end of the floor. So I look forward to watching the play, but I appreciate your description of it.
I'll try to make it better in the story.
You mentioned Avery getting aggressive, getting to the foul line. You as a team made season high 22 today. What was working well for you guys? Not at the line, but to get to the line.
Yeah, I just think we played against their aggressive, pressure defense really well. They're really handsy. Again, I coached in the league and played in the league, so I got some familiarity with this style of play. And again, if it was a slam dunk contest, I don't know if we win today, but it wasn't. It was a basketball game, and we were able to use our skill to our advantage and take advantage of their overly aggressive nature on the defensive side.
You mentioned Avery and John Michael in that stretch got a little crazy. What's your message there? Because you guys are playing so well, things get out of whack. What's kind of the message there?
Stop turning the ball over. Just keep it simple. I won't say what I said, but that's what I want them to do, is just stop turning it over. Like, throw it to a guy in one of our jerseys. That'd be nice.
How do you feel about your team right now? Won 3 of your last 4 now. Does it feel like you guys are turning the page, so to say?
Again, I think we've kind of reinvented ourselves a little bit in terms of how we played in the last 4 games, playing a little bit more small ball. And we say small ball, I mean, Woody is 6'8", so it's not like, he's not that much smaller than Caleb playing the 4. It's just that we're not playing with 2 traditional 5s out there. And so our offense has gotten better in the last 2 weeks, which is something that this team needed.
What's it mean to close out the Big 12 SEC challenge with a win?
I mean, it's a point of pride. I think it's pretty universally accepted that our league this year is the best, and it's by a pretty significant margin. So to go out there and then play the games head to head against another league that's considered pretty good, and to have the results be what they were, it's pretty significant. I think no one in our league lost a home game, which is significant, and we won 2 on the road, from what I understand. So proud of those guys, and now we get to bump heads again for the next 2 months.
How important is an offensive performance like this going back into Big 12 play? Is it something that you can use, or is it, well, we're going back into Big 12, so we have to wipe the slate?
No, it's something we can use. Again, I think the offensive improvement started in league play, when we went smaller and were able to space the floor more. So it's something to continue to build on. Ole Miss is a good team. They got a lot of talented players over there. So I don't want to take anything away from what our guys did accomplish against the team. They're going to win some games in that league.
When Moose is able to get back in the lineup at full strength, do you still anticipate keeping some of that small ball angle that you found alive and well?
I mean, we prepare for every game individually, and the object is to just try to put the best game plan together to give yourself a chance to win. So I don't want to say for sure how we're going to play every game moving forward, because I don't know. And every game in this league is a little bit different as well. How we play against our opponent in our next game is maybe different from how we play against the opponent we play next Saturday. So just got to be adaptable, and obviously we got to continue to monitor his overall health.
Avery had those 2 early fouls that kind of limited him in the first half, but what did you see from him after that?
Yeah, I thought, again, it's one of the challenges is the nature of how he plays. You like to be able to play him with 2 fouls as a senior, but he plays pretty aggressive regardless. So, you try to keep him engaged, and hopefully in the second half he can find some rhythm, which he did. So I was proud that he kept himself mentally in the right space. So when he was able to go back in there fresh, he was able to play with the aggression that was needed for him.
You put him in there at one point, I think, for a couple offensive possessions, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Again, there's always a challenge trying to figure out the 2-foul game, right? Especially as early as it was. I mean, you don't want to sit him for 18 minutes. That's really hard. You got to find strategic ways when you got the ball, maybe to get him in there. I think we went zone a couple possessions because of it. Just there's a lot of things to factor in to maybe give yourself a chance to buy some possessions there, where you don't put him in as much chances to take risks and possibly foul. We wound up giving up a 3 because, smartly, he didn't contest aggressively in that situation. So it's just a learning process for us.
You guys talk about the importance of these, remember the 10 games. Is there an added pressure or a different type of pressure playing a game like this, knowing how important it is maybe to the fan base, the community?
Yeah, I don't even give much credence to the word pressure in any aspect. I think there's a responsibility to make sure you play the game in a way the families that are here feel proud that they're connected to the school still. So that's what it's about for me. You know, we always want to win, you know, and so to give yourself the best chance to win, you got to prepare the right way. You got to understand who you're going against, understand your scout report. You got to trust your training. You got to have some fun. So when you introduce pressure, I think it kind of makes it unnecessarily more difficult mentally than actually physically. So I'll say it again. I think the thing that I'm always so impressed by with these families is how much they love this school and this program still, considering, you know, the life of someone they love dearly was lost while being associated here. So I always try to remind our guys that it's bigger than us. It always is, but on a day like this, even more so.
Maybe not pressure, maybe responsibility. maybe
Sure.
better word.
Yeah. I like that word. You know, we're accountable to the people we represent. And today we represent those 10 families. We always do, but on the day that we honor them, especially so.
Anything else for Coach?
What are you looking forward to about, or maybe not looking forward to, how tough the league is getting back into Big 12 play?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't honestly thought about it in that regard. I know our next game's a big one, and we'll get ourselves ready to go play down there. I know they played well today. They have a great crowd. We're looking forward to the opportunity to compete against them.